There is power in personal stories. It connects us, it empowers us, and it holds us accountable. It creates understanding and expands our perspective. This is Big in the Community with Jonathan James at the Kalamazoo Promise, a podcast aimed to highlight local leaders, collaborators, and innovators in the greater Kalamazoo community. All right, here we are again with another podcast episode. No need for the number because you can see it displayed, and I don't need to embarrass myself when I don't know the actual number. So let's kick things off with a quote. Before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. And that's Jack Welch, former CEO of General Electric. So we have a wonderful guest here today. He's a pretty positive guy, I have to say.
Mostly.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Kuhl. I'm a mostly positive guy. I'm here today on this podcast with my man Jonathan. He's part of the mostly positive crew too. So, I'm ready for whatever you have for me, sir. Thank you for having me on here. The intro, very uplifting. It was amazing.
Thank you. We try to keep it positive around here.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, mostly. Most of the time, we have our days. Sometimes, we're not always like, I don't want to take shots at local places, but we're not always positive. It's mostly positive. We keep it real.
Only on Tuesdays.
So what brought about? Can you tell us a story about mostly positive?
Oh, you want me to kick that off?
I want you to kick it off.
All right. So, make a long story short, Jonathan and I are part of this Leadership Kalamazoo, and it's been great so far, to say the least. And you get broken up into these groups. So it's about 5 people per group. 40, maybe. What do we have? 40 or 50?
I want to say it's like 48.
I want to say 48, right?
Yeah.
So it's about 4 or 5 people per table. And you have these, what are they called?
The Clifton Strengths.
The Clifton Strengths,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So you have that with your name tag, your place of employment, and it has your top 5 Clifton Strengths that you have. And we were tasked in the middle of the session with trying to come up with a group name. So we spent a few minutes going back and forth, pitching ideas in and out. We couldn't agree on anything. So I think it was Jonathan or myself. We looked around at the place cards and we're like, okay, what's one thing that we all have in common here? Mm-hmm. And everybody was just like randomly saying things. Jonathan, no. That's not what we have. Look again. So we started looking again. So I finally started, I'm like, everybody is mostly positive. 4 out of the 5 people have positive as their top 5 Clifton Strengths.
Yeah.
Guess who didn't have the positive as their top 5?
Was it you?
It was me.
Oh.
I was the odd man out.
It makes it even better.
So that's how we formed this gritty gang that we have, mostly positive. So it consists of 5 of us. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
You can see us wearing the merch in the picture around Kalamazoo.
Yeah. And if it kicks off or anything, if you want, we can send you a link to the merch and, start selling it. So.
Yep. Are there royalties attached to this?
Possibly. They said after the first 100,000, but, we got to get there first.
First 100,000. That's a lot. Okay.
Stay mostly positive, Jonathan. We'll get there.
Yeah. So anyway, we're both in Leadership Kalamazoo with Southwest Michigan First. It's like a professional development.
Yeah.
Would you call it that?
I would call it that. And leaders from across Kalamazoo, right? Mm-hmm. So we have people
different
of various
sectors.
Backgrounds, sectors, places of employments, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of employment.
Yeah.
Where are you employed?
I am currently employed at Edwards Garment. That is located off of 4900 South 9th Street.
Oh.
Most of you probably drove past this place a million times. We're the place with a beautiful lawn, but nobody knows what we do. So we are a large distributor in Kalamazoo, actually one of the largest small packaging Kalamazoo companies here. So we handle anything that's business attire or apparel. So when I say that, think of your airlines, hospitality, vendors like SeaWorld, Disney World, anything like that. Their uniforms usually come from us.
Okay.
So we have large contracts like that. If you ever been to Firekeepers, have you ever been there?
The tire shop, right?
No, yeah, just the tire shop. Yes, maybe lost a little bit.
That's Firestone. Wow. Okay.
I was going to embarrass you on your podcast.
It's too late. I did that to myself. Firekeepers, the casino, and
the tire shop where you lose a little bit of money at the tire shop. We'll keep it PG here. So that's what we kind of those are our main like customers and accounts that we have.
Okay, very cool. This is gonna be a funny podcast.
This is already starting off great. I am so glad I joined you two today.
I knew this just from like our interactions at Leadership Kalamazoo.
Yes,
because it's in a big group setting, but there will be jokes that you will just throw out there and everybody laugh. So thank you for bringing that energy to the podcast.
Tires is crazy. We're gonna have to talk about this after we get this microphone out of my face.
Firekeepers. Firestone. Can we talk about what? Never mind.
Yeah, no. You can't do that. You can't. You gotta. You started with it. You gotta stop.
Okay. So, why is it called Firestone?
You know what?
What does that have to do with tires? There's probably a deep story behind it, and that's not what we're here for today. So,
right.
I'm sorry. Let's bring it back. How long have you been at Edward Garments?
Oh man. I laid the foundation to that place.
Okay.
I laid the stones in 88. No.
The cornerstone?
The cornerstone.
The firestone.
The firestone of that place. Yes. Laid the rubber. But 13 years. This year will be 13 years. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you do before that?
So before that, so I've been there 13 years. So I got this job or position when I was straight into college. So before that, any typical teenager role, I did dishwashing, fast food, nothing too extravagant. I wasn't the best dishwasher. I wasn't the best server, but hey, you're a teen, you want some extra cash, that's what you do. So yeah, that was this is my first established career position, I would say, with this company.
Okay. And what kept you there for 13 years?
I would say the core values, man.
Okay.
I don't know from personal experience, but you see and hear those horror stories of people who come in and they come from all different various backgrounds, corporations, strikers, Pfizers, and they're like, okay, this corporation is big, but it feels like a corporation. It doesn't feel like I'm a part of a team, family, anything like that. It feels like it's just you're a number at the end of the day.
Okay.
And even from day one, when I first started there, just the attitude and the support I was met with, I knew, okay, this might be the spot for me, And then 1 year turned into 2 years turned into 3, and so on.
And then a decade.
Yeah. So, it's just been challenges there, but like I said, the main thing is you feel like someone. You don't feel like a number or like I could lose my job and then just be instantly replaced. No, people care about you. They care about my family. They care about my well-being. It's awesome when you have a company too where the CEO knows you on a first name basis and will come in and check in on you. Hey, how's it going? Hey, I seen you did this, or what'd you do over the weekend? Most places you be like, okay, who's the CFO? Who's the CEO? Oh, some guy. I don't know. He's on the board somewhere.
Yeah.
To have that interaction with a CEO, somebody that sits on a board and somebody that is in that static power, it's awesome. It's awesome.
So speaking of cornerstones, and I looked up the core values.
There you go, my man. You're getting some brownie points now.
Integrity is our cornerstone.
Okay. Yep.
I'm not making this up. People matter.
Yep.
Customer satisfaction is our core.
Mm-hmm.
Results tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
And loyalty is the ultimate reward.
13 years.
You got it. See, you should get a promotion after this, honestly.
See, you hear that, Jose? If you're listening, Jonathan James said I deserve about a 25% increase to my yearly salary. Just it wasn't for me.
As soon as we graduate from Leadership Kalamazoo, that should be first thing.
Instant.
Yep.
As soon as I shake my hand across the stage, I want a big old check in my hand.
Might as well back pay it to when you started the whole thing.
See, you can join the island with me. I'll buy you a mojito the way you're going. I like this.
All right. Can you share your journey with us? Who is Jake Kuhl?
Oh, man.
And go back as far as you want.
I won't go back too far. I know we're limited on time. Jake is an interesting character. He's so I'll go back. I'll try to keep it professional and all that. Jake is a well-rounded person, I would say. Versatile. Loves people. Down to earth. I love making people laugh.
I didn't notice that yet.
Yeah. It only happens sometimes. And I think what made me truly like that, though, is having like a near-death experience, as a child. So what kind of shaped me was I got diagnosed with cancer when I was 8 years old. And, when you hear the big C, especially at 8, you're like, this is it, there is no 5-year plan. There is no college. There is no anything, So when I was diagnosed, they said I had 11% success rate of survival. Wow. 11%. If my confidence was there, it was already gone out the window when I heard that, Yeah. So my dad has been just like my biggest mentor, He was that support system that rock, like, hey, we're through this together, Chemotherapy, he shaved his head too. All that. So yeah, I had 3 rounds of chemotherapy, radiation, and I've been in remission for 17 years now.
Wow.
So I think after that, that's what grew Jake. That's what made Jake the outgoing person. That's what made Jake the down-to-earth person, because it's like, life isn't that serious. It is, but enjoy it. You get one of them. Live every day like, do something. So I really, after that, when they told me I was in remission and I walked that hall and I rang that bell, I'm like, from this day on, I'm going to make every single day count, no matter what it is. Any interaction I have, I'm going to make somebody laugh. I'm going to say, hey, how's it going? I'm going to include the outsider. I'm going to do anything I can to be that impact. So that's what Jake is. Jake is a well-versatile person, I'll say.
Wow. That's cool.
That's cool. That's cool. I was holding back tears for a second.
Yeah.
Hallmark moment there, guys.
Yeah, me too.
Early on, I'm sorry. Sorry, listeners.
No, that is inspiring though.
I appreciate it.
I don't want to skip over that. That was a lot. That's a lot for anybody to overcome.
Yeah. Especially at a young age. Something so derailing and hearing that, it's true. Because people hear that and they're like, okay, yeah, you got through that, but then they don't know what comes with it. So during radiation and chemotherapy, there is no playing outside with other kids because your white blood count cell is so low. If you get sick, you can die.
Right.
If you scrape your knee, you might bleed out. So if you guys, I joke all the time, if you guys ever seen the movie The Bubble Boy, you never seen that movie where his mom kept him in a bubble until he was
you're talking
30
about,
something years old?
Yeah.
So I used to joke all the time, that was me. That was what my parents did.
Yeah.
I had anything I wanted, but what I wanted was to go outside and have those interactions. So from 8 to 12, it really wasn't a childhood, with those little microtransactions with people. It was just, oh yeah, I got the latest video game, but what do you play it with? Oh, Kyle's having a sleepover. Jake's not, know? So, but my parents did a great job. I'm the youngest of 5. My siblings did an amazing job, being there for me and being that, fill-in factor why I didn't have it. So, yeah, a lot went with it, so that's why I'm who I am today.
Wow. And you said that was from 8 to 12?
8 to 12, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you were going into like 8th grade afterwards?
Yep.
Middle school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like,
that's tough.
And kids are not nice. If you guys are listening, kids are not nice. Like, had to go to school, bald head, and I'm like, oh man, this is going to be rough. But then, my brother would shave his head. My dad would shave his head. Good thing I was the youngest, so I knew how to fight. But it was, like I said, it was a lot of people in my life that I commend. And mom, dad, you listening, brothers, sisters, and might say I don't like you guys all the time, but you're pretty all right.
No, that's awesome. So you went to? Did you go to school? Like what?
So the 3 years that I was in chemo, again, you can't be around anyone.
Yeah.
Because anything, even going to the grocery store, you can't do it. So I had a tutor at home, but my parents, I love them for this. So I had a tutor at home that used to get so irritated with my mom and dad because after the lesson, my dad would be like, okay, go do whatever you want to do, And the teacher would be like, no, he has to do this work. He has to do this assignment. He has to study. Then my dad looked at her like, woman, my son is fighting death right now.
Right.
Like, if he wants to go play the Sega Dreamcast, the Sega Dreamcast was the thing. I have another story about that too. I'm going to get to in a minute. But if my son wants to play the Sega Dreamcast, he's going to play the Sega Dreamcast, So it was kind of like, then it didn't really mean much. But now that I look back, I'm like, Dad, you go, Dad. Like that's deep, So,
but what got you to like where you are now? Did you go to college? Did you?
Yeah. So, during my time, early years on at Edwards, I went to Valley, did my 2 years there. It took a little bit longer than 2 years because I wasn't really, I don't know. I kept on switching directions. I didn't know what I wanted at the time,
Lots of people do that.
Yeah, so first year was basically me figuring out what I wanted, Oh, I wanted to go early childhood education. Oh, I wanted to do this. Oh, I want business administration. I ended up with business administration. So it took me 3 years, got my associates from Valley, so Valley alumni.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What, Cougars?
Cougars?
Yeah, go Cougars.
You're not a Valley alumni?
I am. Go Cougars.
And you don't even know where I'm at. We are slowly going down this totem pole, boys and girls. This is getting real in here. If you can see it right now.
It took me a second.
I'm slowly scooching my chair away from this as we speak. So,
well, yeah, I should do better.
You should.
I went there, transferred to Western, still got my associates through
there you go.
I forgot what it is, but you can transfer credits back.
Yeah,
and you get an associate. So I have a whole degree from there, and don't know the mascot. That's messed up.
What's the WMU's mascot?
Bronco.
Oh,
I got that.
I see. Okay.
And graduate school, go Knights. I know.
Go Knights. I see how it is. Okay. All
right. I was young. I just
yeah.
I got an excuse.
It's the partying.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, speak on it, Jonathan.
So back to the questions. In what ways do you engage with the Kalamazoo community?
That's a really good question. So we do multiple things. Myself, company included. A few years back, actually, we started this community outreach committee at my job, and we sponsored with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So we send bigs into the community to try to help support any child that needs it, and we also do back to school drives. We you guys remember the tornado that just hit Kalamazoo, and we did a food drive, clothing drive for that. My favorite though, by far, is the first day shoe fun. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah,
dude. Have you ever experienced though?
Like volunteering at it?
Yes, it's different. So you can hear about it, but I was
signed up. I was signed up to volunteer. Got sick the day of.
Oh yeah,
it was. What are you saying? Yeah, you were sick. All right, I missed it.
I know you. Okay,
but
you don't have to lie to me.
We support first day shoe fun for sure.
Good. Yeah. So it's just that's by far because it's like being that positive impact on that little child's life, and giving them those shoes, dude. If I could tell you, like having them go pick out their own shoes. letting them try mine and run around. The hugs, the love that you got, it was just so genuine. Again, it was like Lifetime. Almost cried. I was holding back tears. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. But yeah, so that's just a list, a couple of things that I'm currently involved in and what we do and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they're nice shoes too.
They are. So, and again, most of these kids aren't used to the simple, hey, go pick out a pair of shoes. You know what? Really? You know, it's amazing. It's truly amazing. So, First Day Shoe Fun, keep doing what you're doing. I support you 100%. Edwards is behind you. Let's go.
All right. Let's see. Next question. So well, you kind of already answered this. I was going to say, what motivated you to reach your current position? What motivated you?
Always being hungry, man. Like that light never became unlit, I would say. So I always wanted more. I'm like that in my personal life and professional life. Like I always set myself up trying for the next step. Like I don't ever want to become stagnant in anything that I do, if it's professional, personal. So I would set little miniature goals for myself when I first became, okay, I'm only going to try to spend this much time as a warehouse associate. Then I'm going to try to work my way into leadership, working to a team lead and try to do the same thing. So I always try to set miniature goals to keep that candle lit, you know, and to keep myself striving forward. And so I don't become stagnant in something that I do. And that's, I'm hungry. I want it all.
Okay. I like that. Hungry. That's cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right. If you had the power to transform the Kalamazoo community in any way,
that's a good one.
What would you do? Think big. That's the title of the show. Think big.
That's cool.
It is cool. It is.
Let me manifest on this for like 30 seconds.
Okay, that's fine. I can stall for a second. So
I have so much running through my mind right now.
Don't overthink it.
I know,
because then we might miss the instinct one that was even.
I know.
Even
So
better.
Okay, the instinct one. I'm glad you said that. The first one that popped up in my head was more support for kids. A place where kids can come in, find out about resources, and have those resources available to them 24/7. So I would say something along the lines like a shelter, but it's not a shelter. It would be more like a 24/7 service help center or something, you know, where anybody from 1 to 18 can come in, and you need a place to live, you need someone to talk to, you need this, that. There we go. I would open something like that.
Where it's just all in one place.
All in one place. People, because as we talk about in our Leadership Kalamazoo group, there's resources out there that people don't know about.
Yeah.
So we're not utilizing them, and we're not taking it into full effect because it's getting left on the table, because that communication is getting dropped along the line somewhere. You know, get this communication out there to the community for the people who truly need it. You know,
there are things for people, but they're all like one's over here, one's over here,
right?
And unless you know about it, you can't really get into it.
That's why I would have that, and everybody would be on site. So at all times, we would have a couple of psychiatrists, a couple of doctors, a couple social workers, a couple bigs there. You know, so you would have that all in 24/7, open 7 days a week, holidays, anything.
Okay, I like that idea.
See?
Yeah, it was big.
It was big,
and it was cool.
It was cool.
I like that. I'm just thinking about like the logistics of that, because it's like, why not?
Right.
You know, but there's so many layers into it when you think about healthcare. There's like different policies, like even like childcare places, to have an overnight childcare place. Like that's a whole nother layer of.
It's possible, though.
It is possible.
It's possible, especially if the commissioner or anybody's listening right now, when we start mentioning tax write-offs, then people start getting involved. So, let's get some people out there. Let's get playing in motion. If I hit the Powerball, it's happening.
You call it some philanthropic
I'll even throw in like a petting zoo in the back or something.
Petting zoo.
Like,
okay.
You know?
Okay, I like it. All right. What are some of your favorite things about Kalamazoo?
The food, the people,
Mm-hmm.
the vibe, man. It seems like we're on the come up. The last few years, it seems like we're on a come up right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know there's crazy things still going on. Homelessness is the biggest one, but I feel like all in all, like small businesses and just like the whole like aura is like, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like we're trending in the right direction. I'm excited for like the next 5 years. I am.
It's interesting, like all the changes, because there's one side where people are like, I don't know about all this, and then there's other people who see what Kalamazoo's going to be, and that's exciting.
And I hate to say it, the people that say they don't know, and I'm sorry, but those are the small city folks or small-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to step into any situation, especially something like that, and look at things from the 10,000-foot view, even if it seems bad at the time. Don't look at the race. Don't look at the race. We're thinking marathon, So I think the people that think like that, like, oh, I don't know if this thing, I'm going to move out. Mm-hmm. No, you're not being part of the solution right now. Think 5 years, 3 years, what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Open up that mind, people. Open up that mind.
I think that's changing too. Like, I just ran into a couple with like 3 kids, and they said they just moved here at one of the events we were just at. They were like, yeah, we moved here just for the promise because we know they can use it. And there's so many people who have come here with that kind of mindset.
Right.
They're like, where are we going to move to? I heard about free college in this one town. And they just go. That's scary. Like,
it is. It is because you don't know who you're attracting, So, yeah, free college and all that, but, like, what else,
But it's like a risk for the people doing it, too. Mm-hmm. They're like, all right, we're just going to uproot our lives and just go. Yeah. Kalamazoo, Michigan.
So you guys are part of the promise. So I want to ask you a question.
Oh, man. So we didn't even get to that part yet.
Oh, I'm jumping ahead?
It's okay.
I'll calm down. This is my first time,
fine.
Guys. Bear with me.
It's
Bear with me.
No, bring
don't
it.
Shoot
What's
the
up?
Messenger here.
What's up?
But
shoot.
How have things been going with that? Like, has the graduation rate steady?
So like we
all that and...
we had a big decline as nationally with COVID and everything, and now we're coming back up. And I think we had the best year that we had. I'm looking at the producer to get confirmation.
It's all because of the producer. You go.
Yeah, you're the one who made it happen. So just know.
Put him on his back.
So we had our best year of utilization. So people using the promise.
Yeah.
And we were over it. Yeah, we were over budget.
Sometimes
which
is a good thing.
Here over budget is a good thing.
Yeah.
So if we give out more money than we even thought we were going to, that's great. And then that increases our budget for the next year. So if we're doing what we're supposed to, making sure students are using the promise, then they're like, all right, keep it going. We're going to move the budget up, and here's some more for next year. So that means we were doing our job.
There you go.
Thank you, producer.
He threw me a bone earlier in the show, guys, and he said I need a pay increase, but I think the hero right here is across the table from me. If you're listening to this, whoever Jonathan boss is or whoever he reports to, he needs a 35% increase in his yearly salary.
Okay, let's go. Director level stuff right there. Well, yeah. Oh, you need a little. Okay, and our marketing guru producer,
he put the city on his back.
50%.
50%.
Honestly,
easy. You want a new Honda Civic? It's outside.
Honda Civic. You got to think big.
There we go.
Oh man, I'm having a good time.
Me too. I was about to say I need to come out here more often with you guys. This is best. We're locked in now. This is happening.
All right. If the promise was available to you, how might have that changed your life?
Ooh.
Yeah, I reworded the questions. We're going big. Got to keep it cool.
Most of you know, we probably all have our degrees in here. Student loans, man. Student loans are...
Yeah, they suck. For what? What'd you say? Oh, even when you still got them?
Yeah, so that would have changed my life. It would save me a lot of money in the long run. Yeah. And it's funny. I've seen people utilize the promise and still owe, because of whatever financial needs they needed.
Yeah.
And
that's me.
Yes.
That's producer. See,
and some people have their bachelor's, master's. Great. They took advantage of it. But now they're working and they're paying off a $90,000 debt, $60,000 debt, $40,000, and it's like, dang, man, you know,
it's another barrier.
it's another barrier. But yeah, I feel like if I had the promise, it would have cut back on some of the student loans that I had, and you know, it would help my pockets in the long run, man. You know, things aren't cheap. Inflation is killing us all.
Yeah, it definitely not having loans. It kind of like it fast forwards your timeline.
Yes,
of what you want to do, because it's like you graduate, and for people who have like big student loans and like that is could be your biggest payment. It could be more than your rent.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, that determines where I can live, what I can afford until I pay that money back.
Right.
And then you're just kind of like stuck in that survival, get rid of this thing. And then I can thrive.
Right.
Like that's what they always talk about, is thriving, having a thriving wage where you can build wealth, equity, you know, all that stuff. But it's, if you didn't have that barrier, like you can start building wealth sooner.
Right.
Or get the house that you want, or build the house you want, as expensive as that is right now.
And to kind of piggyback what you're saying, man, it's like, think about all the doctors and stuff who could have been doctors who didn't want to go back for their PhD or something because that student loan was overbearing, you know? So think about the potential we're losing there, you know? So it's rough, man. It's rough.
No, I get it. I got a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
A little something.
But, you know, I'm in grad school, so I just, you know, push it off until later.
It's like when your mom told you to clean your room when you were growing up. You just push everything
put
in the closet and just hope that door doesn't bust open.
I thought Big Joe was going to come through with the forgiveness. And he said, I'm out. Yeah, well, hopefully, you know, we'll work it out. Okay, so that's the answer to that. I'm having a good time, but I'm losing focus of like the
I do that to
stuff.
people. I'm so sorry. I have that effect on people.
This is good. It's good stuff. Okay. What golden nugget of wisdom would you share with someone aspiring to follow in your footsteps?
Ooh. I would say,
like the wording on that.
I did.
No. Yes.
Ooh, shot fired.
Wait, what'd you say? Oh, okay. I'm trying to build my vocabulary.
It's cool.
You know,
It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. I'll say golden nugget. Be an active listener. You know, be open to constructive criticism. You know, handle feedback well. Don't wear your heart on your sleeve. You know, so active listening and all that.
Okay. What's been your biggest takeaway from Leadership Kalamazoo?
How many leaders we truly have in the community, man. Like that's people I would never even thought, you know, like Pete and them, the commissioner, he's with the commissioner, Portage, and Jeff's a cop and does all these things. You know, I hear a cop, I'm like, oh, he just writes tickets, you know, but I think I'm past doing a couple of them, Jeff. You need to hear me. So, but yeah, it's seeing that leaders come in all shapes, colors, and different sizes, and it's all one common goal. You know, we all want to inspire. We all want to help. We all want to make that change. So it's awesome to see that we have 50, probably even more. There's more of them out there. I'm just in ours. It's amazing to see 50 people with the same agenda. That's real.
And willing to learn.
I feel like we have a great group, man. I feel like, you know, I'm always joking around, but I feel like we have a great group.
Look at you tearing up.
I'm definitely going to cry in the car.
Just cry in the car. On the way home, it's fine. Or back to work. Because, you have to go back to work because you care so much about.
Yep. I'm just going to nod and say yes.
Yep, that's right. 25, 35%.
See, I told my director, I was like, man, I'm on this podcast with my boy today.
He said, take the day. You know what, Jay?
I need 4 hours for this, okay?
They got to get the levels set up, and, you know, there's the lighting. It's just audio. But
I think it was a lunch and learn with it or something. You know?
It could be. Okay. How can people get involved in your work and the things that you have going on in the community?
Easy. Like I threw a couple things out there. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, First Day Shoe Fun. Your local drives, just step out, try to make a change, look for those resources and see, it's simple. If you have kids, go volunteer at your kid's school. Be a mentor, be a tutor, be a listener. It's just assert yourself. That's what you need to do. Assert yourself. Make a change.
Okay. I was going to ask you a personal question. Like, how do you
give it to me?
Well, you kind of answered it. I was going to say, how do you balance, like, if you're a full adult, you married, got kids, or, like if you have, wife, kids, or partner, how do you balance still like volunteering your time?
It's hard. You probably have. I have 3 little ones at home, so
I'm about to have 3. So
yeah, I know. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
You as well. Just post dated.
Yeah, a little bit. 4 months out, but it's all right.
It's fine.
It's all right.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just it's hard, and sometimes I feel bad, and that's why when we did the cultural sharing, like, it opened up my eyes to a lot of stuff, because sometimes I do get carried away in one thing. I'll admit it. I'm human. I make mistakes, and I've been trying to scale back on a few things and try to really set my priorities straight, or make enough time in my day for my kids. I don't want my kids to ever feel like they're coming last for anything, because they're the main ones I'm doing this for, right. So I try to make sure it's like, I don't know. It was this thing I heard, like a 4-4-4 rule. So like after work, spend 4 hours a week on work activities, spend 4 hours a week on just like yourself, and then 4 hours a week of trying to do something as a family, and that's kind of what I've been trying to base it off of. So one day I might go to the park with my kids, if I know the next day is going to be super crazy busy with me, but I'm always trying to do something or connect with them, because as you know, they're in those toddler stages, and that's the most important, man, and I don't want them to ever feel like, oh, dad forgot about us, but he was out, helping everybody else, so it's hard, but just try to make those sacrifices and make those adjuststance, I'd say, to get them involved.
Okay. I like that answer.
Yeah, thank you.
Or you're taking notes,
Yeah. I'm trying to throw a couple of gems at you here.
Yeah,
man,
appreciate it. Yeah. How can people contact you or your organization?
269. No,
but for real.
You can email me at jkuhl@edwardsgarment.com. You can go on our homepage, edwardsgarment.com, follow the links, follow the path on there, and then, you'll connect to one of us, HR, human resources, anything you need. We're there.
Nice. This is a spot where you can ask questions.
Ooh.
Even though you jumped to it, but we're coming back to it.
Coming back to it? Okay.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Yeah.
Or the producer, since he's right here too.
How long have you guys been doing this podcast?
It'll be 1 year in August.
What kind of inspired you guys to do this?
Oh gosh. We just talked about this probably like on the last episode, right? Long story short, just I been meeting all these people along the way, and like part of my job is to engage with like the community. Yep. And anyone that I've met and was like, they should, like, I got some sort of, gem or wisdom or just something that like I can take notes on, like, this guy's real funny, he's pretty cool. Let me take some notes.
I seen what you did there.
Right. So it's so hard to stay serious on this episode.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
You aren't going to invite me back. I already know. I'm going to grab my stuff now. I'll take my ball and go home.
It's I want to share what I got from other people.
Yeah.
With like a broader audience and giving other people a chance to see what I see, hear what I hear, that sort of thing. So it started because I went to Dr. John, who had a podcast here, and was like, hey, we should do a community series. Like, I didn't know what it was going to be. And he was like, well, you don't need me for that. And just kind of like teed it up. But then little did we know he was leaving like the next week. It wasn't that soon. It was that soon. It hurt. I got to call him. We got to talk.
Put him on speaker now. Call him up.
But that's what started it.
Yeah. So what do you guys try to do? Is it like weekly like interviews, or how do you guys do that? Like, is it a quota every month, like 2 to 3 people a month, or
you put in statistics on our.
I don't want to limit your success. I don't want to limit your success.
No, but we usually do an episode every other week.
Awesome.
And then like 2 or 3 weeks after that, it gets posted. And that's about how frequent they are.
Yeah.
We've done, this is what episode is this? Over 20? Okay. Do.
Cue the music.
Yep. Okay, this is number 20.
Let's go.
Yeah. So every other week, 24 a year. We're coming up on a year. So
I think this is just me. You guys should do something big for like the year end one. Like,
okay. Do something
I want to
big.
be a part of that.
Yeah. We got something planned for
Oh, I see how it. Okay.
25.
All right. So you're telling me I can come back in and
I mean, we'll see. You gotta start thinking. Right. You gotta stay tuned. Or
I love surprises.
Come back for the next one. Yeah.
Where do you want this to go in the next 2 years, 3 years?
Oh man. Where do I want it to go? That's a big question.
It is. Yeah, cue yourself in. Come on.
You gonna jump in? All right. We got
I was
our
actually going to
producer.
say I want both of you.
Yeah, we need to just keep a mic right
do.
next to you. Just
come on,
just
join the
set
fun.
up a permanent
Please,
station.
please.
Thank you for jumping in.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate this.
Sorry, listeners, we got to get ourselves readjusted here.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
There's the radio voice.
There we go.
Okay.
Little baritone.
I know, right? Okay, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Where do you want this to be, or where do you see it going in the next 2-3 years?
I would say just within the last 2 years or so years that we've been doing podcast here out of the Promise, it started out with Dr. John's podcast, where it was just like the idea and the vision of just even doing stuff like this. That laid the foundation for us as far as the amount of stories and the kind of stories that we can tell. And so where it was a lot more focused on like team members, Promise alum, maybe a couple of scholars now we can actually like tell the stories of the people and the organizations that we're connecting with. Pretty much the sole purpose of the podcast. And so I really feel like this can go a lot of different ways. It's very broad. But I think with the continuation of this, I feel like it would put a lot more spotlight on the people who are much behind the scenes of stuff. We don't see a lot of those people and hear a lot of where, their purpose and their drive to want to serve in these roles at these organizations. So it's like, let's give them a spotlight too. And I believe there's like tons of other people out there that we have to still talk to and get their stories and get how they got to where they are. And in what way or shape has the Promise helped with that? I believe the sky is the limit, really.
You know what you guys should do? I don't know if it's possible to like do a day or like a week where it's just like mobile podcasts. And you go to like small businesses, Black-owned businesses, and you ask them like, hey, series of questions like how you did me, and what they do or what's their impact or if they have anything for the next upcoming people, That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. I want to join that day too. Since I thought of the idea,
Team mostly positive.
Mostly positive.
We'll get them a shirt made. No
I need a shirt.
No
Please
cost.
get me a shirt because these look cool. For the listeners, you'll see the picture of who we have as our guest, and then you'll see the reason as to why the shirts are so cool.
Yeah.
Because they're both wearing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't planned. It wasn't planned.
It wasn't.
It was. That's
so
what
they
makes
say.
it sweeter.
Okay, look. I thought about texting them.
I did. Me too.
You can
Me
look.
too.
You can look at my text messages. and you can see to
Not the
Monday,
receipts.
I don't have anything in there.
You got the receipts.
I don't have anything in there
Right.
from Mr. Kuhl.
Okay,
So,
that's okay.
That's cool, right?
yeah,
That's
we
cool.
got verification.
Yeah,
Okay,
I guess.
because I thought about it. I was like,
I know,
should
I did too.
There's Instagram, there's
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, maybe, I don't know, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I'm gonna get back to the producer station.
Oh,
though.
thanks.
Thank
Okay,
you.
just drop that.
Just,
drop the mic. Thank you.
We had a new character unlocked, ladies and gentlemen.
Seriously.
Awesome. Awesome.
No, but I think the biggest thing about this is just sharing, like you were saying, storytelling. There isn't like you could hear about like different companies and stuff that say like, oh, we want to do this for the community,
Mm-hmm.
or we want to raise money for this or that. But the thing that actually like draws people in or gets their commitment, their involvement, is hearing that personal reason
Mm-hmm.
as to why, like what's your why. And I think that's where I see it going, is getting the why behind everyone. Again, that personal story where it's like, oh, this is why you do what you do. And then there's understanding as to why it's important.
Right.
And so getting that, drawing it out, and then, I don't know, just getting kind of like, I don't know, I just want to say like a motivation or like a purpose-driven
Mhm.
storytelling.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So I'm going to throw your question back on you, but I'm going to twist it up a little bit.
Shoot.
So a little spin.
Okay.
So one thing you're happy about Kalamazoo right now, and one thing that you're kind of like, needs to change or we need to improve on. Mm-hmm.
He did. He flipped the script
See,
on me.
you like how I did that? I need my own station here. I think I need a spot, name on the chair,
Just cool.
something. Just cool.
Just cool on the back of the seat.
That'd be cool.
I gotta say, okay, the question was, what's one thing that I really like and
yep.
one thing that I don't?
Yeah, or one thing that needs to change.
Needs to
Yep.
change. Room for improvement, sort
Mhm.
of thing. Okay. I think the thing that will never change as far as like what I like about Kalamazoo is the people.
Mhm.
There's always amazing people here, whether they're moving in and out of the community, like those people who were here experienced Kalamazoo and then went to other places.
Yeah.
They still have that, like, I want to say that heart for investing in people, helping others. That I think is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Room for improvement for Kalamazoo. This is tough because, like, what I'm learning now, like, I just started master's in public administration.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest thing I'm learning is how difficult and kind of like nuanced it is to actually do that, to like, because basically public administration is how we provide like services for the community. So like what government does. The easy answer that most people would throw out is like, oh, all this stuff is wrong with like the construction or how money gets thrown here and there. Like that's the easy answer.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing how difficult it is to, because there's politics in it, there's like, you can't just instantly do what you want to. There's all these different layers that make it difficult. That's like the biggest thing I've been learning. But see, I don't even know where I want to go with
so
this.
all right, I'm gonna
So,
add
like,
on to that.
okay.
I'm gonna add on to that. So you're kind of behind the scenes too. Then you're seeing it firsthand with all that. So do you feel like there's enough resources available? Not enough people? What's the biggest stoppage right now?
So my answer to your question is it's not just one thing.
Right.
There is no like, if we fixed this one problem, it would fix everything at Kalamazoo. It's so many layers where it's like, well, if the administration was more efficient, then these things could get done faster. Or if we put some money into this, it could have got done faster. It's like, if you could fix every single little issue, little problem, and made it so every single person in Kalamazoo knew about every single resource that there is, then it could be fixed.
Right.
But how do you do that?
Right.
That's the problem. Because like I was having a discussion with my wife about, like, we were talking about like the unhoused population and how do you fix that? And you know, it got to the point where I was like, but we tried that. We tried, you know, like we have like different types of solutions, but they haven't solved the problem. You know what I mean? So it got to the point where like she got kind of frustrated with me because I just kept saying like, well, they are doing that. Well, they are doing that. And that can get frustrating. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, bring me a solution then. Then what's the solution, John? What's the solution? I was like, my bad. I wasn't trying to, you know, like,
I don't want to sleep on the couch tonight.
I wasn't trying to like just argue. But that's kind of what happens is we're trying that over here. Is it working? Okay, it's not. Then let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. In some situations, there isn't necessarily a solution that will help everyone. And I think you kind of have to be content with that, which I wouldn't want to hear that.
Right.
You know,
no,
like,
I hear you.
I think everybody should get the help that they need. I do. But I can also recognize that even when there are resources, there's still reasons or things that we just can't, for some reason, it just doesn't work for everyone. Because like, even with the promise, it's like, you got free college. Why aren't you going to school? Well, if you dig down deep enough, it's like, well, there's housing, there's, you know, fees, there's all these other things that get in the way. My personal life, I got kids, you know, like
support. That's a big one too.
Yeah,
support.
I don't have the support. I'm not ready for college. You know, there's all these different things. It's like, well, maybe this can't help everyone.
Right.
And kind of like our job is to figure out, okay, can we solve that problem? Okay, let's try to. And if we can't, we still tried. You know what I mean? Like, we don't give up on people, but we still try to help them. We still make it available, but it's still up to them to kind of get to the finish line. I'm trying to work out my answer. I'm just like
doing great.
I'm just talking until I get there. Going, but I think it's a multi-layered, multi-level answer that is the issue. And I don't want to say it's just because people aren't motivated, or it's because administration doesn't help, or the city does this, or small businesses, or, you know, like, I don't want to just point blame at one thing. There's so many different things that affect if someone's successful, and then there's some situations where we just can't even. You could have the promise, you could have some support, and you still might not fix things.
Right.
So I feel like I didn't answer the question.
You did. You got it. I'm with you. Are we in agreement then to say we both agree that it's not really displayed or communicated throughout the community on what resources are available and like things that are on the table for them to?
Yeah, I think awareness is a big issue. It's hard for people to know about the services that are out there. Like, even in my job, I still have to like research, try and find stuff. Even if I know there's an event coming up, I might not be able to get in touch with the person who actually runs it.
Right. Because
of like turnover. If somebody was like the event coordinator for some back to school thing and then they're gone, I have to reach out to somebody else, call somebody. hey, are you guys still doing the thing at, downtown Kalamazoo for back to school stuff? And then it's just like that adds a whole nother layer of difficulty.
Right. Because the follow-up might not be there, so that's understandable. Yeah. So I'm glad you said that. So you guys do events like that, like back to school bashes and all that stuff?
So a lot of events that are already happening, we just we either sponsor, we go table,
that's awesome.
We support in some kind of way.
Yeah. Are there volunteer opportunities for that for our listeners, for myself? Yeah.
So that's a whole nother thing. Is how do you communicate that to the people who want to volunteer? But I think the easiest way is if say Big Brother Big Sister is doing a back to school thing, just go to their website, see where it is that you can volunteer, go directly to them and look it up.
Right.
That's the easiest way to find it.
That's true.
So
yep.
It's a tough question.
I know. I'm trying. I try to give you everything I had, man.
I was digging too deep to try and find the perfect answer. I just couldn't get to it.
But yeah.
Okay. You good?
I'm good. I got it all out of my system. I swear.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, I just want to thank you guys again. This was amazing, and hopefully I'll have the opportunity to be on here again.
Yeah.
I stand behind you too. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep making an impact. Be that voice, so people can hear you. Yeah. Let's get it, Kalamazoo.
All right. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.